Fable, Fable, Fable. That's all I'm going to talk about today. It is my favourite fantasy, RPG, weird fairy tale simulator. Ever since I was little, I played Fable 2 primarily. I remember getting little Xbox DVD magazine things when it was coming out and watching the gameplay and thinking, this is so different, it's so whimsical, it's got British humour like Monty Python that I understand as like a UK guy, mixed with like fantasy elements and fairy tale. It was so cool. And in 2026 we finally got a release date for the Fable reboot, remake, and I'm going to go on to something else later on, a theory about it being a prequel.
The occasional giant toad, for some reason. But it's more than that. It's about the choices you make.
I'm a hero. I should do what I want.
You thought you could save her?
You know, it's your life and death stuff. That's what defines you, doesn't it? Really, stays with you. I knew this one hero. I took her in when she had nowhere else to go. Welcome to the most exclusive club in all of Albion. Thought I'd get her out there, make the most of her gift. But you know what it's like when you're young and you have a point to prove. I tell you, this kid, she had it all. The skill, the talent, the power. She was something else, all right. She was terrifying. So, yeah, I knew this girl once who made all the wrong choices.
Humphrey. She's back.
Now, like I said, we finally got gameplay and a proper trailer. This has been in the making, I think since like 2021 or 2022 it was initially announced. And Playground Games are making this, that make the Horizon series of games, the Forza things. And I played them games, and they on a technical level, you know, they're amazing games. But it's like, oh, you're making a racing game, how can you suddenly swap onto this? And there was a lot of kind of, I want to say, kind of nervousness, anxiousness about it, whether they can deliver, especially changing things up in the middle of a generation. Everyone's a bit, ugh, I'm not sure if they're going to deliver. But after all that presentation, the gameplay, the reveal, things they talked about, what they've done, what they've shown off, about 80% of my reservations have just flown out of the window, out of Bowerstone entirely. Now, I briefly want to just touch on my love for this series. Now, I've only briefly played the anniversary, the initial first game that was kind of remade, remastered for Steam and Xbox, and I don't really have a deep connection to the first, but I respect it being first in the series. For me, Fable 2 was always that magical, nostalgic game, you know, playing as a brother and sister, and losing your sister, becoming a hero, marrying people, doing quests about putting a bride's corpse together for a weirdo that then gets strangled, you know, a goblin snatching a kid and turning the guy's kid. There's so many quests, like sacrificing people to like a wheel of doom for a cult, going to a spire and becoming kind of disfigured and older, and then sacrificing the world for your dog, of course, all being led by like a blind sage, which actually was the mother from my family in the UK, if you didn't know that. Her voice, I can't remember her name, but I'll show her off now. And yeah, I loved it. It was just one of those games that hit every single thing, niche and vibe and theme and kind of, I don't know, neuron in your brain that you just vibed with completely. And unfortunately with Fable 3, they kind of lost their way a bit with that. Now, I still love Fable 3 for what it is. Basically a kingdom simulator version of Fable 2, playing as a descendant of that person, and yeah, it has a lot still to love about it, but ultimately for me, Fable 2 was always my favourite. Graphically, mechanically, narratively, everything about it was perfect, and I've actually just managed to get it working on PC via emulation, so That's brilliant, but you can stream it via Xbox xCloud streaming and, you know, backwards compatibility on console. So there's still ways to play it, but it never got an official PC port, which to this day is still sad. I wish we'd got a remaster, but with this reboot coming, let's talk about that.
How can I help you, boss?
Fancy a date?
Very impressive.
Now, what is new in this Fable reboot? So, obviously, they're going for a more realistic realism to it this time. It's not so much cartoony proportions and kind of like Shrek 2 look to it, where some of the characters are just weirdly proportioned. It looks more like you're looking into like a fantasy fairy tale world of Game of Thrones almost. It's kind of going for that cartoony but still quite humanistic with how people look, and I'm kind of liking that. It's going for a more traditional RPG sense. You can actually customize your own character now. You do have an origin story, something to do with you being raised by a grandparent and they get killed, and it unleashes your heroic powers and your village gets attacked. So, you know, it's simple stuff, but the fact you can fully customize your character and there's default kind of sets like Shepard from Mass Effect, I really do appreciate that. And the fact that, oh my god, Peter Molyneux is not involved with this, because he absolutely sunk Fable after 2. Fable 3, Fable Legends, this weird Connect game, all these other things, he just, one thing after another, he just fucked that company, and then Xbox bought them out and did nothing with it. But anyway, it's got the proper people involved and the proper kind of spearhead behind it, the creatives, the devs, they all seem like lovely people, which you can watch this full video on, you know, Xbox's website and YouTube and stuff like that. Yeah, I wanted to just kind of swing back to, obviously this looks like a completely rebooted timeline, and I have a theory that this might actually be a prequel to the original Fable, because in Fable 2, the kind of sage lady, I can't remember her name, but she does say how the tower used to be taller and that the guy wiped out the local area and it kind of, over hundreds or thousands of years, kind of redeveloped and re-established itself. So I'm hoping this is actually a prequel. If it's his own timeline, fair enough, we can still have fun with it, but it would be a really cool tie-in. That's just something I wanted to throw into the video. But yeah, new visuals, open world, one of the coolest things they've shown off. 1,000 unique NPCs strewn all over the world, a seamless world that you can marry, love, abuse, fart on, point at, turn into chickens, make them landlords, kick them out their own house. I don't know, you could probably do that with children as well, who knows, we'll see. Apparently you can marry like 8 different people and have like 20 descendants, so it looks like almost like a life simulator mixed with the combat of Fable, the story of Fable. Obviously a lot of this is going to pivot on the narrative and the characterization and the voice acting and stuff like that. It's got to keep that comedy, and it's going with a bit of like an Office cutaway vibe, which I think would work actually, as long as they keep that Monty Python UK humour, which they seem to be. And it's coming to all platforms, which is just relieving, you know what I mean? Like exclusivity is, it's just boring now. I mean, I've got a PC which can play mostly PS5 games, most of the Xbox games, Steam games, emulate, and now I've got a Switch, so I've got access to pretty much everything. But some people only have one console, you know? I used to grow up with one console. I had an Xbox and then a PS2, and so, yeah, just get rid of that. I'm glad Xbox are kind of moving away from exclusivity, in all honesty. But yeah, I'm hoping this is Fable 2 on steroids. Take what worked in 1 and 2, ignore most of 3, and then modernise it as best you can with visuals and everything we do nowadays and the combat, and it looks so cool. I just wanted to talk about it because it's got me so excited, like the way you can interact with the characters, and it will say like you're almost like a tycoon of the area, taking over businesses, being kind of respected by some people, but also hated by others and being called like a rich twat or a pompous dickhead and stuff like that. So those kind of town crier nicknames are coming back. And I see a lot of people talking about it and kind of going, oh, this has ruined it, I don't want to buy it, was the fact that they're getting rid of like the karma system. So if you did loads of evil things, you'd grow horns and a tail and become like Satan. You did really good things, you get a halo, kind of glowing tattoos, like beautiful eyes. And while it's cool, I kind of don't want that this time. It'd be cool if you could do things in the game that temporarily make you look like that, or a switch to toggle it on and off, but they seem to be going with more of like a 50 Shades of Grey karma system of some people will love you do this, but some people will hate you do this, and it varies personality and person to person, which makes more sense and is more realistic. Like I said, they're going for maybe more of like a modern, almost Shrek-like fairy tale vibe to it, which I think is going to be cool with like the realistic thing. It gives me Hogwarts Legacy vibes, you know, that kind of vibe to it. Like, it's not quite realistic, it's not quite cartoony, but it's got that kind of magical flair to it and comedy. But yeah, imagine what you could do with those 1,000 unique NPCs. Can you kill them? Can you kidnap them? You know, it's going to be. There needs to be a lot of choice with this role-playing game. There needs to be a lot of choice. Comedy, choice, ways to do things. Apparently there's going to be no co-op or online function, which is a shame. I was hoping they may do something where you could like visit each other's worlds or something, but you know, it's yet to be seen. And we're getting it in autumn this year. Now, autumn is probably what, August, September, depending, you know, maybe October. It kind of varies how some people class it, but or fall for Americans. But I don't think GTA 6 is coming out this year at all. So I'm hoping that either Fable comes out before GTA, or GTA gets delayed again and we get Fable in its place, because there's plenty of time for GTA. Everyone will enjoy it. It'll be a perfect game. I don't want Fable to get delayed because GTA is sat right next to it. Either bring it forward or keep it where it is. I'm really excited to be able to play this like October, November time this year. I think it's going to be an amazing kind of autumn, winter game. It's just, I can't wait. It's my most anticipated game now. I loved everything about the Fable series. It's such a charming kind of, almost like a time capsule of gaming, and like the way when you collected XP you'd suck the orbs in, and like the goblins and the characters, and getting statues of your heroic deeds. And you know, you could be a blacksmith, you could buy properties, the silly DLCs and kind of cosmetics and the quests you'd go on. Like, there was so many aspects of it that I just adored. I just can't wait to experience a whole new range of that in a Fable reboot. And yeah, you know, I'm not saying it's perfect, I'm not going to say it's going to be amazing yet, but I am super excited, and my reservations have kind of been, you know, put to bed, and I want to see some, you know, an hour gameplay. I want to see some more in-depth things. I want to see what they're working on, how they're kind of doing it for the fans. And I want you guys to be able to enjoy it and maybe try the old games as well, because during this video I've probably popped some footage up of Fable 2, which I'm playing through in the moment, and go back and play Fable 1, Fable 2, Fable 3. Either buy them if you can, or borrow them, or whatever you need to do to play them, because they are fantastic games. I personally think they're better than stuff like Skyrim and Oblivion. I know it's, you know, different tastes, but I think they're just incredible games, and I can't wait for a new entry. And hopefully this spawns another saga for Fable. And hopefully we might even get a remaster of 2 at some point. Who knows? This year, this is very much an unscripted ramble about a game I love, and you're going to see more of this. Yeah.